He wants Ireland to be abrasive in the test against Italy on Sunday, and, in that spirit, Joe Schmidt wasn't conceding anything easily at the announcement of his team. Someone asked if the coach would challenge Sean Cronin to prove him wrong, given the Leinster hooker will win his 68th cap in Rome, but will be making his first Six Nations start. The question hadn't been completed before Schmidt was lining up a short, brutal response. "Haven't had that conversation," he said, before turning his gaze back on his audience. Schmidt is a schoolteacher by training and still, occasionally, by instinct. Just as a teacher will not volunteer to be proven wrong, so an elite coach in the mold of Schmidt will not want to show their fallibility to the group. Cronin hasn't started matches in the championship for Schmidt because the Ireland head coach has preferred Rory Dest. 2 championships and a Grand Slam back his judgment. If his players can call upon abrasiveness so easily in the Stadio Olimpico, then Ireland will not have many problems. They won't anyway. They are on a different level to the hapless home side. It was interesting, however, that in outlining what he wanted to see from his side, Schmidt identified the need to be abrasive. Given that a physical challenge is about the most convincing one Italy will muster, it makes sense. But this desire for an abrasive edge also bounces back to the first game of the championship, when Schmidt used the word bullied to describe what happened to his side against England. "We normally present a real physical challenge to our opponents," said Schmidt on that opening defeat. "We can reflect on the England game and we weren't quite where we needed to be. I'd be the first to admit that and take a degree of responsibility for that. After 2 matches, that England game is the most relevant Ireland have played. That looks certain to be the case come Monday morning, too, because outside of an initial physical resistance, Italy will not be able to trouble Ireland. But that physical squabble does give the Irish players an opportunity to continue righting the wrongs from that English humiliation. We probably should have responded when there was a few off-the-ball incidents," said Schmidt. "We should have responded with, certainly not with indiscipline because that's not us, but to be a bit more abrasive within the laws of the game because that's what we feel we can deliver, and that would be something I'd love to see on Sunday." Italy are likely to pay for sins inflicted by Eddie Jones's team, and England's status as the form team in the championship will have been thoroughly examined by the time Ireland take to the pitch on Sunday afternoon. The meeting between the English and the Welsh took up almost as much of Schmidt's time in Carton House as the visit to Italy. From his comments, the Ireland coach expects a rousing Welsh challenge. And were Wales to win, it would mean Ireland's own championship ambitions were reinvigorated. They have a proud record at home and they take pride at that Principality Stadium of being really tough to beat. We've gone there with good teams and not managed to do it because, for every inch, you've got to fight so hard. They'll endeavor to do exactly that. I think it's going to be a really interesting battle. I don't think Wales will give England the entry points in the air that we gave them. Maybe, again, that's us being a little too disciplined, especially when you see it's something that's not really being sanctioned. That English match will echo through Ireland's season far longer than tomorrow's will. That is not typical denigration of a minnow, but rather a recognition of Italy's diminished status. The country of Troncan, Dominguez, of Alessandro Zanni and Sergio Paris at his wonderful best, is gone. There are signs of encouragement, perhaps, but as of today, Italy are 15th in the world for a good reason. Ireland will rout them, and if Schmidt and his players will not say that, all involved will expect business to be done ruthlessly, and with no little abrasiveness. That would leave Ireland soundly set for the arrival of France in 15 days' time. And a week later, there is the glorious possibility of a championship playoff against the Welsh in Cardiff. The disappointment wrought by that opening defeat to England may have softened, but Schmidt expects to see that lessons have really been learned. Ireland have not embraced the edginess England have done under Jones. See the way shapers like Courtney Lawes and Tom Curry are empowered in their side, but that could be changing.